Hello everybody, it's Toya here. Today is November 5th, 2021, and I just want to make this video. Well, I had a particular download that I was actually going to talk about, but it's like so much to this one topic alone in itself that I'm just going to kind of merge it together. I'm just going to talk about, my own story and just allow spirit to guide me and lead me, and anything that may need to be said that I may forget or may need to touch on. So I'm just gonna get started. I don't know what I'm gonna name the video yet, but I know the topic is gonna be about cause and effect. So like I said in my other video, while I'm going through my process and journey of healing, things are being unlocked and things are being taught to me along the way as I'm healing. And like I wrote in the description box of some of my videos, that I'm just a student, just like everyone else. Will always be students, will always be learning. But my quote is, I'm just a student that is sharing my study guide. Basically, that's all I'm doing here. So it's almost like I'm healing through my traumas publicly in hopes that someone else will not have to go through what I have had to endure, or if they did have to go through what I've had to endure or something similar, that can potentially use these things to try to help themselves out to get a little bit further on their journey and further on their path. I am no teacher, I'm no expert, I'm no doctor. I can only share what I've been through and the things that I'm learning to heal with. So cause and effect. It would be easy for me to just talk about a movie I may have seen, or someone else's life story, to explain cause and effect, and I very well could do that as well. But Spirit is leading, guiding me to talk about my own story through my own testimony. I'm not going to go into my testimony. I'm just going to talk about cause and effect. I have a testimony series already on this page with, I think, at least 8 or 9 testimonies that you can watch if you want to learn more. But I'm going to talk about this cause and effect. Okay, so for one of my testimonies, it talked about how my mother and father had divorced, or at that time separated, when I was 11. I think the divorce was official when I was like 12. So about 11, 12 for me. My brother was about 14, 15. So what I will say is, I'm not making this video to talk all about that in detail. Well, I guess I got to give somewhat to talk about the cause and effect. Now, I'm just going to talk about the black household. We're just going to be real and just say it what it is. You can call me racist. I really don't give a damn what you call me, what you think about me. I can only talk about my experience because I'm a black woman. So I know now as an adult, from the beginning of time, or as long as we can remember, there's always been a war on black marriages, a war on the black family in general. But I'm going to say marriages. Okay, so what I've learned throughout this healing process of my parents getting divorced is the cause and effect. And the best way I can describe it is to, like I said, the war on the black family. So basically, the cause and effect is, okay, a black family unit married together, teaching their children the right way, raising their children the right way, with the right values, so that we can go the right way in life. Okay, my story is a little bit deeper because it wasn't just your typical, black family being together. Oh, they just broke up, whatever. Then all this bad shit happened because of the effect from the cause. That's not what I'm talking about here. Because it's a little deeper. Like, when you have a relationship with the Creator, some people call the Creator God, him, her, whatever it is that has been expressed to them. I say Creator. When you have a relationship with the Creator, you start to understand yourself more spiritually. Like, you start to tap in more spiritually. So while I'm on my spiritual journey, I'm able to see more clear, what went on back then. So that's why I say it's important to know yourself and to understand and to tap in spiritually, because when I say our, I'm talking about my mother, father, my brother, and I, our cause and effect story of the Black family, it went deeper than just, okay, two Black people, they got married, they broke up, their kids' life went to shit, they went to hell, everything was bad, whatever. It was deeper because the cause and effect, what I've been shown, it was more so like a generational curse. It was more so deeper. And I say that because before I can even talk about my family dynamic, I'd have to go back to my dad's family dynamic. And my father's mom and grandparents, they were married, and they had this idea of having this nice life, and they had 4 children together, and they were married and everything was fine. But then my grandfather, my granny ended up divorcing because they found out my grandfather was gay, and my grandfather was having an affair in a relationship with a man. Okay, cause and effect, right then and there. My granny, she had 4 children. The oldest was a girl, so she had the oldest girl, then my father, then 2 more girls. Okay, so the cause and effect there was by my grandfather being gay and them divorcing, them finding out he was gay, ruined her dream of what she thought she would have as a family. So from that, she started to mistreat my father because she didn't want my father to become gay. So she thought, if I don't hug him, if I don't kiss him, if I don't show him that much love, then he's going to be a straight male. He's not going to follow in his father's footsteps, and I'm essentially going to give him tough love. And at the same time, she hated my father because my father reminded her of her husband, and also him being the only boy, she was afraid, like, now you don't have a father in the household, all you have is me and these sisters, and I don't want you to be a punk or a pussy, or whatever people call people back in those days, back in the 60s, when they found out, faggot, whatever, that people were gay. So she thought, if I take this route and I take these steps, it's going to protect him, but at the same time, she had that hatred for him, reminding her of her husband. So the cause and effect here is, my father grew up not loving himself because he's seen his siblings getting love that he wasn't getting. He's seen his siblings getting gifts and cars and help along the way that he wasn't getting. So the cause and effect there is, my father also became a womanizer because he felt like, I'm not, this piece right here, that piece I just gave you before, it came from my father's mouth, as far as how he was treated and everything. And then other pieces I got from my mother back, around the time when they were married and I was growing up and stuff. But he felt like, well, from what my mother's observation was, or what he may have told her, was that he felt like if he get with a whole bunch of women and stuff, he know for sure he's never going to be gay. Men are taught that they're masculine the more women that they get. So he felt like, I'm going to prove myself by having all these women, and I'm not going to be like that. That's the story that I received, and also what I've kind of observed as, I was getting older. So there's the cause and effect. Black household destroyed, because I can't tell you the cause of why my grandfather felt like that. I don't know if he had any trauma in his life, molestations, whatever. I'm just giving you guys an example of how generational curses continue on in the bloodline. That's all I'm doing. I can't go back to his story because I haven't sat with him. So basically, now that we're in my father's life, now it's my father's turn. He gets married and he has 2 children by this woman, okay? But he's still never, and this video also is going to be explaining on why it's important to take care of your trauma. So it's cause and effects, generational curses, and why it's important to take care of your trauma. So by him never taking care of his trauma, my father always searching for that love from his mother, who would now be deemed as a narcissist. If you know the term, study and look it up. So he's trying to get love from this narcissistic mother, which narcissists, they don't show you love. There's no way to get their approval and their love and their attention. It's not going to happen, So he's trying to do that. He's trying to impress this narcissistic mother, who was my grandmother, who's now moved on and transitioned to wherever she may be. Okay? So the hatred that she had for my father, now it has trickled down to, now that my father had met a strong woman who wants to help him and teach him, basically stand up for himself to his mother, save his money, stand on his own more so. Now that he's met this strong woman, my granny hates my mom. My granny doesn't like my mom. she doesn't like the fact of him having this strength and him taking up for himself, because she always asked my dad for money and tried to, even though she didn't need it, just whatever. I don't even want to get into that. But him standing up for himself. So now he has this wife that my granny hates. So now he's made this child, my brother was older than me, that my granny hates. And then I come along, my granny hates my ass too. Okay? So the cause and effect is something that had happened back in the 60s, had nothing to do, my brother and I wasn't thought of, nothing. The hatred that my granny had for her husband, because of the embarrassment, the humiliation, and everything that she went through, she, instead of her getting her trauma fixed and going to counseling and healing, you don't even necessarily have to go to a counselor. When I say counseling, I don't necessarily mean you got to go sit with somebody and have money. You can find that good, trusted, beloved friend, that good, trusted teacher, just someone that you truly know will listen to you and help you process and release what you're going through. So instead of her doing that, it turned into anger, it turned into hate, it turned into revenge. But she didn't channel that energy to who it's supposed to go through. I'm not saying she should hate the husband, go beat him up, go kill him, nothing like that. But I'm saying her assessing her feelings, like, who am I really angry at? Who am I really mad at? She didn't do that. So she took that anger and that hatred and that pain and placed it onto my father. I'm pretty sure she had other children that she may not have done things perfectly with, but I'm not here for that. I'm here for what happened to him. So putting that onto him, he never felt like he was good enough. Like he had to prove himself, like he was a failure. So that same energy was passed on when he started his own family. So when my mom and dad had their own family, he's still not feeling good enough because his mother hates his wife and hates his children. So now he feels like he has to prove something. So they're getting the new cars, they're getting the fancy things, they're trying to keep up with the Joneses, my mother and father. My father's trying to show my granny, look, I got my kids out the hood. You know what I'm saying? We live in the suburbs now. We got a nice place. We doing good. Still wasn't happy for him. Oh, look, my wife's a nurse. She's at work every day. She just goes to work and come home. Still not happy. We having dinners together every night as a family, spending time, the four of us. Still wasn't happy. So my dad is trying to heal that little boy that's within him of, I'm going to make her happy one day. I'm going to make her proud one day if I keep doing this. And chasing his father, because when his gay father left the family, he wanted nothing to do with them. My father, when he got 18, his mother wouldn't tell him either. So when he got 18, he went to go find him himself, and he introduced him. The sisters wanted no parts of him. My father is the one that even brought him back around into their lives. So he's trying to fix all those things. And now that my father didn't get any help, he didn't go for his trauma and try to heal himself from what he was going through. So now look at this. I'm just showing y'all. Look at this cause and effect. So now the toxicity that he has dragged on from his mother, now he's in his own household with it. So now my dad or my mom and dad, as their relationship is blossoming more and people are seeing the love within them and the love in their children, the well-behaved children they have, now the enemy, darkness, is trying to sneak into him and telling him, well, you should be coming to party with us. Why you got to go home every day? Because my mother and father, they had a routine put together, like where my mother would go to work and then my dad would stay home. They would switch places because I think they both had the weekends off. Or my mother would take on weekends sometimes. Her being a nurse, she would take on overtime or she would switch with somebody. But typically, I think they had Saturday and Sunday off, or either got off early. She may have got off at 2-3 o'clock on Saturday, and we went, to the city with our family. So they had it worked out. They had it where, so we don't need no babysitter. You're going to be with him, then I'm going to switch. I'm going to work. I'm going to be here with the kids. So they had a perfect system. But it's like darkness was like, we got to destroy this black family. We can't have a black family out there. We're going to school and kids are asking us, oh, y'all mom and dad together. We're like, yeah. They're like, oh, they're married. Y'all got the same dad. My brother and I had the same mom and dad. So they're like surprised, And then in these black communities, when you try to do that, have the mother and father together, that's an honorable thing. People look up to that example. They want that back the way that it used to be, I don't know, in the 60s, 70s, and even 80s or early 80s and stuff. They want that stuff back. So what is darkness? Do I have to destroy it? So I want to make this video to say too that darkness can use anyone if you have a weak vessel, and if you have I'm going to say if you have some form of darkness in you, if you're already like not trying to be of the light or be positive, it's so easy to be used. So basically, you can be used because of you. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to make no excuses. I'm not no damn Christian. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, darkness came in and used you because that's just what demons do. Nah, I don't believe in stuff like that. I believe that the energy that you put off, the energy that you carry, the energy is with what is within you can be used by darkness and strengthened. So what I mean by that is if you are already a jealous person, if you already a hater, if there's something about you already like, I want what he got, I want what she got, I wish I was her, I wish I looked like her, I wish I act like her. If you have that in you already, that's your own darkness, that's your own problems, that's your own issues. But when you're carrying that energy around, the dark spirits, what I'm trying to say is the enemy, things that are against light. Those things that are against the light can see within you, oh, she's jealous, oh, she's a hater, oh, she's negative. They can see that in you and say, perfect, I'm going to use her to do my bidding. All I need is a vessel. She's already like that, so I can take over that. And that's what happened with my dad. Being around these miserable, jealous people who didn't have nothing going for their lives. They didn't have wives. They didn't have a good family structure. They didn't have things going for themselves. So what can they do to make them happy? Let me tear this family down so that they're on my level and they're just as low vibrational and losers as I am. Bottom line, pretty much. So I'm trying to give y'all an example when they say it doesn't matter if it's your family, your friends, your auntie, your cousin, your best friend. Anybody who has that negative energy and their vibrations is low, they're negative, they're jealous, they don't want better for themselves, break the hell away from them or they will break your ass down to their level. Matter of fact, they'll bring you lower than their level. So now, while they have this good household going, now my dad is out in the streets. Now my dad is cheating because he has to prove to these guys, because he already has the mindset since a child, I got to prove something. I got to be somebody better. I got to show him this. I got to show him that. So now he's in the streets, not coming home, not bringing his check home, not helping my mother anymore because he has to prove to these guys. When he's telling them, I'm going home at 8:30 because my kids, we're going to hang out on Saturday morning. I got to go home. Oh, you got a curfew, man. Oh, you whipped or whatever. Your woman run you, blah, blah, blah. You a hand-packed nigga, all that crap, okay? So he's dealing with that stuff. And he still got that, I got to prove something. I got to show something. So instead of placing that energy into his family and saying, fuck these low-life deadbeat men, I'm finna go home with my wife and my kids. You know what I'm saying? Instead of that, you're proving it to the wrong person. And I'm using these examples because somebody could be in this situation right now. Men watch my page all the time, and women do the same thing. They have these girlfriends that'll tell them, girl, why he calling you? You don't gotta come home. He can watch the kids. Girl, fuck him. Stay out all night. Party, club, forget them. F them kids. All these crazy things. And these women end up losing their marriages and losing their good men because they miserable friends whole time low-key only want your man. And same thing these miserable about my daddy. They want it. They want a life like his. Whether they wanted my mother personally, I can't say. Some might, and some just wanted that life. They wanted the life to say, I got somebody to come home to. I got my kids out the hood, and they in a good school system. They doing good for themselves. People be jealous of that stuff. They say they your friends, but they really not, okay? So I'm giving these examples potentially. I have no pleasure in coming in here always talking about my pain. Believe me, I don't. But if you are a man right now and you getting these pressures from your friends that's telling you, fuck your wife, fuck your kids, come kick it with us, get all the hoes, blah, blah, blah. Please don't be fooled. Because I tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you. My dad is about to be 60. My dad is miserable as all hell. He has been miserable as hell since 2001 when they separated from each other. Okay? Mother and father, they both miserable as hell. I don't care how many cars they buy, how many houses they buy, how much bling, jewelry, whatever they want to buy to try to pretend they're not happy. They both miserable as all hell. Okay? And back then they had to be maybe 30s. Okay? Maybe in their 30. They about to be 60 now. So what is that? That's 20. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I kind of messed up on the math tip or whatever, but I can say for at least 20 years, they both been miserable as hell, okay? I'll say 20, because if I'm 31, yeah, so about 20 years, okay? So all I'm trying to say is these little temporary so-called mistakes, they can cost you everything, okay? So while these people are telling you, forget your marriage, forget the person you with, it can ruin everything. And when I say cause and effect, so after my dad gets out there cheating, not bringing the money home, messing his own good ass situation up, cause and effect. So my mother said he had been cheating before, again, trying to prove the people shit or whatever he was doing. But this time around, she actually took the chance to say, I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm not dealing no more. Divorces him. He didn't even know that they had got a divorce. So it was never his intention to leave our family. He, for some reason, thought it would be cake and eat it too. Whatever. So here's the cause and effect. I'm getting to it. The fact that when my father and mother was married, we were all in one household. My brother and I had a bedtime. Like I said, we are from Chicago. We was born in Chicago. We was living in Chicago. We lived in the hood. But my mother, she did whatever she could because she wanted best for us. She wanted better for us. She wanted us to be able to, like go outside and play and shit and not worry about stray bullets and things like that. So she did whatever to try to find a place for us to live. All these housing lists or whatever to get us in the suburbs, and she did that, just that. And we were there. So we was in a really good school system, really nice area. It was super diverse. I mean, yeah, we had, it was shit that went on because, people was still from, everybody that was out there, like a lot of them pretty much still from Chicago. We just had the same, mentalities fighting and shit, but we had to worry about straight bullets and stuff. Yeah, we had the fighting, we had the gangs, but that's what it was, the fighting and the gangs. It wasn't just like, random shootouts and shit, like just how it would be if we was living in Chicago in like middle school and high school and stuff. Well, so she did just that, and it's like, when my mom and dad was married, we had a bedtime, we ate dinner together, we played games together. Like, we didn't just sit in front of the TV and watch movies and shit. Like, we was outside. We was riding our bikes, we was swimming, we was flying kites, like all the stuff that can't say that they particularly did or didn't do themselves growing up, in Chicago, but we was experiencing all that stuff. They was teaching us that stuff, So we was doing all that stuff. We was having a good life. So after that situation happened, they divorced. That's what I'm saying, cause and effect. And that's how statistics are created, because now it's like, my brother starts doing, my brother started smoking and stuff, and maybe even drinking. I'm not sure. He was older than me. He was in high school now, so I wasn't always with him. And then me, it's like my mom, she started working even more, because now she got to provide for us, just with her income. So now she's working like 2 jobs or double shifts. So we're never seeing her. We have to like basically take care of ourselves. But the reason why I say me is because now my brother's like 14, 15. He's in high school. So he going with his friends. He's learning to drive. He's out. But it's like me though. I'm in the house all the time because I'm like 12. So I'm watching myself, and basically it didn't just go from my dad divorcing and leaving us. It went from the whole family tearing apart. Like I said, that's why I know for sure it's a war on the black families, and the man is the head of the household, because it's like as soon as that head was cut out, so as my dad was cut out, everything went to shit. Everything went to hell. Like, think about it. Now my mom is gone all the time. At first, when they were both doing that, there was a balance, because when she went to work, she may get off at 2, 3, or he gets off at 2, and then she gets off at, 9 or something, 8. Or each day their schedule was switched, but we still had time with both parents. And then on weekends, we had both of them. So see how that went from now the divorce. I have neither one of them, because she's working 2, 3 jobs. And then my dad, he went back to Chicago, or, he's gone. And we were like maybe 35 minutes away from Chicago, but still, how it is when you're working, your schedule, your traffic, it's not like just being in the same house or right down the street. And now my brother's gone with his friends all the time. So that's how you tear up, a household. How dark energies can use negative and dark people to do that. They use my dad's mom, the hatred that she had for my dad, the hatred that she had for us, to play that in his head. You can do better. You can have better. Oh, and let me forget the biggest part of cause and effect. My granny, I don't even know why I still call her that, but I don't know what else to call her, because you guys aren't going to know. Her name is Inez, but y'all not going to know who I'm talking about. So Inez and her daughter, one of her dark daughters, they hooked my father up with the woman that destroyed their marriage and that he's now married to. So that's cause and effect for you right there. That's cause and effect. And that's how you get your generational curses. And that's how you get your bad lives. And people have fucked up lives and testimonies. This Inez hated my dad so much that she was just like, I hate him. I'm going to destroy his marriage and fuck up his kids' lives. Oh, and she did just that. So cause and effect. Daddy's gone. Brother's doing drugs. Brother's on alcohol. Brother now is like lusting. And he, instead of my dad being there to teach him to be a real man, is to have one woman and treat that woman with that love and respect. No, now it's like, fuck it. BET is my teacher. My big cousins is my teachers. Them drug dealers is my teachers. So now it's just like, get all the women I can, stay drunk, stay high, and tune out all the pain that I'm going through. And then for me, now it causes for somebody who had a protective father. I didn't used to get in trouble before my dad left. I didn't curse. I didn't do nothing. So now it's like, okay, father gone. Now I'm cursing. Now I'm starting to do drugs and stuff. Now I'm a 13-year-old losing my virginity. That's still a fucking baby. So I'm doing all these things super young. I'm not even a teenager yet. Like, that's super weak. Like, I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm just showing you cause and effect. It be your own people. That's what I keep hearing. Sometimes it be your own people. So it would have been easier if I just told y'all, oh, the family just divorced. But the fact that y'all see that this was strategically planned out, this is some bullshit. Because to me, it's like all these years, once our house got destroyed, and then after that, if you can watch the testimony part 1, it's gonna explain everything that happened in my life from this fucking cause and effects. But the easiest way, the fast way to say it is, I mean, the generational curse. It put poverty onto us because now we're looking around trying to find some shit better when she had already did that. She had already got us out the hood. She had already got us a good school. She had already got us better. But now it's like taking steps back. You know, now I'm moving back. Now I moved back to Chicago. Now she finna put me in the Chicago system. And then I'm moving all over. Never stop moving. Never stop moving. Keep moving, because now her not dealing with her trauma. My mom is running from something. She's running from her pain. She's running from her embarrassment. She don't want to stay here. She don't want to stay there because she wanted best for us. And now she's putting all her life and time and energy into a man or whatever woman that she's with, trying to fix what's broken. But then now the people that she's with hate my brother and I. They don't want our ass around. I'm getting into fights and shit with the people that she's dating, their kids or son, whatever. And then now we're just getting more drunk. We're just getting more high. We're just getting more promiscuous. That's how you fucking, there's your generational curse right there. Boom. Then my brother is getting a girl pregnant in high school. I think he had just graduated, and I think it was her senior year. Boom, she's pregnant. The first girl, he breaks up with her, gets with another girl. Then at the same time, they're calling him, telling they're both pregnant. The one he had just stopped messing with, she's pregnant. The new one he's messing with now, she's pregnant. Pregnant at the same time. And mind you, now my mother has moved us to Hawaii. So now my brother's up here trying to figure out how to be a dad, young as ever. These 2 kids coming. I'm just showing you how the generational, I just want you to see cause and effect. So now his life is fucked up. He got a felony on his record after my mom and dad divorced. So now with this felony, he can't get no good job. Back then, I don't know what's going on now, but back then it was hard as hell. Oh, here's a picture of my brother. So he got a felony. He can't get a job. Decent, taking care of no 2 kids. Then he got the baby mama drama. You know, he getting shot. You know, he's selling drugs. He's doing stuff. You know, he's trying to prove himself the same way my dad's trying to prove himself. I'm out there, same thing, doing drugs, selling drugs, trying to prove myself. We trying to find our identity. We trying to survive. We trying to do whatever we have to do to make it. And like I said, you can watch the other testimonies, but I just want to show you cause and effect. I just want to show you how these generation curses are, how they're passed down. So now my brother got 3 baby mamas. Oh, and let's not forget, he's dead. Huh. My brother got murdered. How's that for a generational curse? So now look at, well, no, they're not in those pictures. Wait, what are they pictures at? Oh, they're on the other side. Now he left behind 3 sons. And look at that. I don't know all of his sons, but one of his sons. You know, one of his sons, you know, is kind of having issues and kind of the same shit that my brother and I went through and did. So that's your generational curse right there. That's your cause and effect right there. That's your cause and effect. And you know what? I don't want to leave y'all like this with just the bad, with just the trauma. So I'm going to make another video and talking more about this cause and effect and in a way that this can potentially be stopped and saved.